Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you're someone who is considering giving up in photography, maybe you've lost motivation, maybe something bad has happened, I wanted to make this video to tell you that there's some things that you should consider before completely giving up. You're going to take bad photos and it's okay, especially when you first start out. I mean, when you first start in photography, there's a trial and error period that lasts longer than you want it to last. You kind of think to yourself, okay, when am I gonna, I already did my first 2 shoots, I should be getting better. You just have to be realistic. I think just having a realistic outlook on your progression in photography keeps you grounded so you don't have, again, unrealistic expectations. Because when you get your brand new camera, you get all the gear, and then things are not coming together, you start to think, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But in reality, it just takes a very long time for you to really learn what your style is, how you like to shoot, what lenses you like. I mean, it takes a while, but that's okay. That's what makes photography fun. That's a part of the journey in photography. So I think, again, number one, you will take bad photos, but you have to take bad photos in order to take good photos. Look, we all take bad pictures. Till this day, I've had bad photo shoots, okay? And I've been doing this for like 12 years. I'm just here to remind you, we've all had the bad shoots. Outfits didn't turn out, makeup wasn't what we wanted. It happens, and that's totally normal. I feel like you really learn from each photo shoot. You take what you lacked in that photo shoot and you apply it to the next one. And it's okay if you feel like it's happened more than once. Sometimes it does take a couple of tries for you to get through something or to get something right. This next one is an important one, and I still have to remind myself to remember this all the time. The photographers who are shooting those big campaigns, the ones that we always compare ourselves to, oh, like this person shot for Vogue or Elle magazine, or like the big campaigns, those are done with professional teams of people. Hairstylists, makeup artists, wardrobe stylists, manicurists, creative directors, lighting assistants, photography assistants. We're talking a lot of people involved in this one photo shoot. So I don't think it's fair that you compare yourself to that. I mean, I'm out here with just one other model. Me and the model, I put some blush on her cheeks and I call it a day sometimes. I usually don't have a big team, and I'm sure a lot of photographers don't have big teams like this. So what I'm saying is, don't compare yourself to that. Some photographers have more resources, and that's just the truth of it. Some people have people literally setting up their lights, okay? All they have to do is show up and, take the pictures. And I think when you reach a certain point in your photography, you really only have time to do that. You have people literally setting up everything for you. You come when everything's done and you take the pictures. Some photographers are a little bit more involved. So it just depends where you're at in your career and also how involved you want to be. But the reason I mention this is just because if you're ever feeling down and you're on Instagram and you see the Explore page with all these amazing editorials and pictures and people with the big studios, just know that you gotta just be fair to yourself. Don't blame yourself for not being able to take pictures like that, because again, they just had more resources. And I'm sure if you did have those resources, at some point in your career, you will be able to take those pictures. People will give you unsolicited advice, and it's up to you whether or not you want to take it. But my advice to you, which is kind of like unsolicited advice that I'm giving to you, but I would say just shoot what makes you happy, what you're passionate about, what lenses you like, and don't worry so much on how other people think you should shoot, because everyone has their opinion on what looks nice. I mean, art in general is subjective, so one thing that's nice for another photographer may not be to another. So I just say shoot what you like and what makes you happy. If that's a weird wide angle fish lens, go for it. If it's you shoot only on the 85mm, go for it. If that's your thing. When I first started photography, I received so much unsolicited photography advice on things I was doing wrong. I was over editing, I was doing this, I was cropping weird, and I shouldn't use this lens. A guy told me that I shouldn't be using my 50 lens or something. He's like, you should be using a zoom lens, for a telephoto lens for that. And I was like, really? Because I didn't know any better. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm using the wrong lens. Come to find out, just everyone has a preference at the end of the day. So the point that I'm making here is that people are going to give you their opinions on how you should shoot, and I say you can either take that and go with it if that's what you want to do, But also, just keep in mind, you don't have to follow everyone's advice. You can do whatever you want to do. You can shoot how you want to shoot. Art is subjective, and what you find to be nice photography, someone else might think is ugly or like a bad picture. So I'm just saying, you're not going to please everybody. You might as well please be happy with what you're doing yourself. What I would say is shoot for yourself. Don't shoot so that you can end up on the explore page on Instagram or that, because you know what, eventually you're going to get sick of it because you're not really passionate about what you're shooting and you don't really like it. You're just doing it to appease other people, who then they're just going to move along sooner or later because you're going to keep shooting that same thing. You're not going to be shooting for yourself. So you're better off shooting things that you're passionate about and being liked for that, for who you really are, versus just shooting for what other people want to see, because then you're not going to be fulfilled deep inside with your photography. There's always going to be something missing, and I think that's a big mistake photographers make. They shoot to be, for Instagram, or they shoot, it's not really what they like. So, and I've made this mistake too. I've made this mistake so many times because I'm like, no, people are not going to like this. And then at some point I'm like, I don't even care if people like it or not. I'm going to post it. I'm proud of it. And I know a lot of photographers who have struggled with this so much. They think, okay, I like this. This is my style. I'm passionate about this, but it's not getting a lot of traction. People are not engaging with it. But I promise you, the right audience will come. You have to be patient and you can't give up. Unpopular opinion, but the gear does not matter to me. I'm still using my DSLR. People roast me still for using this. They're like, why haven't you upgraded to mirrorless? I'm like, you know what? I don't really think it matters that much. I'm happy using this gear. Eventually, I will upgrade, just not now. I'm happy with what I'm using. I don't feel like me switching to mirrorless is going to make my photography better. That's just my opinion of it. Yes, the gear matters. Gear does matter to a degree, but even if you have a good camera, you're not going to take good pictures. And I'm sorry, that's just the reality of it. I've seen a lot of people with the newest gear, best cameras, $50,000 camera. I'm sorry. I mean, it looks like a picture of an old fence. It's not good. If you're not a good photographer, a $50,000 camera is not going to save you. You can have the best model, the best hair makeup artist, you can have 20 lighting assistants, but if you still can't shoot it the right way, like if you don't have a style as a photographer, if you don't have a vision, artistic vision, and you don't have a passion, it's going to show in the picture. So don't worry too much about the gear. You don't need a $10,000 camera, okay? I don't want you to think that you need all this new stuff, okay? I'm still using this old gear. And again, people roast me all the time for this. Don't give in to the pressure. Don't give in to the pressure of upgrading, by the way, because I feel like that's a big thing. The new thing comes out, everyone runs to buy it. It's like, why? That's a good opportunity to buy old gear. Buy a DSLR for like half off. You are on your own journey. Don't compare yourself to others. Whenever you see a picture on the Explore page that you're about to do it. I want you to think, I'm not being fair to myself. I want you to visualize a team of people, 10, 15, 20 people in a large studio, drinking a Starbucks Frappuccino, getting their nails done at the studio. Behind every picture, I want you to visualize that, okay? Because a lot of the times, it's a big team. Just be fair to yourself. And when you're even thinking of making a comparison, which I don't think that you should. Everyone's journey is different. And also, you don't know what that photographer had to go through to get to that point today. Photographers work really hard to refine their craft and to get a team together. So it probably wasn't easy to get to that point for them either. So everyone has their own journey. It's okay. You'll reach it at some point. And just appreciate the journey that you're on now. Another thing, if you ever feel unmotivated or just not creative, why don't you try to do a photo series? Think of something that you can do. You can, like, models with flowers, or like you can think of taking pictures of certain animals, like a series. Just think of a series that you can do that is just for you, it's for fun, and it just makes you feel accomplished, and you can put energy into that. And I think when you focus on doing a project, it really gets you to be more creative. So I don't know, I think that's a good idea. I've done it before. For instance, when I was in Croatia, there were cats on the street, and I did a series where I would go try to find the cats and take pictures of them. I'll put that right here. So it became like a fun little project for me. I've actually never shown these pictures before. This is the first time I'm ever showing them publicly. I don't know why I never posted it, but it was just a little photo project, and it was fun for me to do things outside of model portraits and things like that, and fashion photography. So just to, again, get my creativity going, and I would recommend you guys try to do the same. If you're feeling unmotivated, I would watch YouTube tutorials or any type of photography tutorials, pick up little tips, maybe even one little tip, and then apply it in your next photo shoot. Try something new, learn a new skill that you can apply. Maybe it doesn't have to be related to the type of photography you're doing. For instance, let's say you shoot models, okay? You can watch a video on landscape photography, and maybe there will be a tip in there that you can apply to your model photo shoot. It doesn't always have to be just that one thing. I think when you start to branch out and go to other genres of photography, that's when you can be more creative, and maybe you'll find things that you like in that genre as well. And then you can apply it to your portraiture. So I feel like you can always learn, and that definitely helps me become more motivated when I learn a new skill and I just can't wait to apply it. It also gives you a reason to go out and do a photo shoot, because now you definitely want to try out that new technique, that new thing that you learned. So that's what I would recommend. Don't do what I did and shoot in just one type of light, and I've said this in other videos. Shoot in every type of light: side light, backlight, direct light, every type of lighting that you can imagine, indoors, in a basement, okay? I don't, just try everything, problem solve, because you never know when you're gonna be in that situation. Also, it really helps to know how to shoot in every type of light, because if you're outside and it starts raining and you have to go in the shade or somewhere dark, hey, you know what? You already practiced that. You already did a photo shoot where it was a little darker. You have experience in that. So what I'm saying is try out different types of lighting, be well versed in shooting outdoors, because definitely you don't know when the weather is going to turn, things get ugly. You want to be prepared, especially if you're shooting weddings. If you're shooting weddings, you already know that you've been in every type of situation. I literally had to shoot during a snowstorm and a flood for 2 separate weddings, but I was prepared. I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform for you to build your business and brand online. They really help in bringing your vision to life. I've been using Squarespace for so long. I host my website on there. I absolutely love what they offer. They have amazing tools to create whatever you're looking to bring to life, whether that's a project, you want to show off your pictures, you want to open up a store, you can do it using Squarespace. They have designer templates, which you can switch out with just a click of a button. And the thing I like most is that it's really easy to use. They have drag and drop features. You literally click a picture, you drag it to where you want it to go, and it live updates so you can see how it looks on your website. And there's no plugins or anything you have to install or worry about. So you never have to worry about just things crashing on your website. And if you do have any issues, they have 24-hour customer support. So someone's always there to help you, which is why I just love Squarespace. One thing that I also like is that you can actually start a free trial before you even go live, before you make any decisions. So you should definitely check that out. And you can start a free trial by going to squarespace.com. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Jessica. Use my offer code Jessica for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Information will be in the description. The beginning is very daunting. It's very scary. Photography is very intimidating. We have so much gear. Everything's really expensive. Reaching out to models especially can be intimidating. But I promise it's part of the process and you will get through it. Don't give up so easily. I believe in you. You can do it. If I can do it, and I literally came from nothing in terms of photography, okay? And just nothing. I didn't have the money to just buy all this gear. I had to save up for years trying to get professional grade cameras. And it was a struggle. I had to struggle to do what I love to do today, but I was able to do it. And so that's why I believe you guys can do it too. If you're passionate about it, if you put in the work, I promise you will see results. So don't get too down on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Okay, you're gonna look back in a few years and you're gonna be like, wow, I remember when I did this first photo shoot and how I was retouching pictures in the beginning. So just enjoy it. And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.